Home Alone is simply my most favorite movie that I've photographed. It's very entertaining and it's very heartfelt. Of the 27 films that I've shot, it's by far my most favorite film.
Where I went to see what was described as a little Christmas film, and I had no idea what to expect, and I was enchanted.
Every kid thinks, if I could just get rid of my parents, it'd be great. And every parent, once in a while, tell the truth parents, thinks, I could just get rid of my kid. Then the flip side of those two things obviously occurs, where the kid goes, geez, I didn't mean alone, I just meant not now.
Mom?
And the parents go, we really miss the kid.
Kevin!
The genius of the script that John wrote is that he plays desire and fear beautifully, like a little orchestra.
Action!
This house is so full of people. It makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone. Did you hear me? I'm living alone.
My problem in the film business is that I started with John Hughes, and so he would give me a script, I'd read, I'd go, that's pretty good. First draft, that's pretty good. It took about 10 years after working with John to realize just how good they were.
Sometimes you read a script and it says, and the bad guys get the crap beat out of them. One of the brilliant things of John's writing was that he laid out the physical comedy in exquisite detail.
It's so well written and it's so well executed, and it's so much fun, and it's so much fun for everyone.
And so when I first read the script, I was laughing out loud. It was like a Stooges thing, but shot by shot. So he was incredibly detailed in his vision, and then Chris brought it to life shot for shot.
The gags in the film were written in the script, and fairly specifically. At the same time, there were elements that didn't exist in the original script. The character of Marley, I don't think existed in the original screenplay. The movie originally ended with Kevin just saying, just hung around, freeze frame. And we sort of worked together to bring that emotional side to it, as well as the intense sort of comedic side of it. We were telling this story through a child's point of view. For me, I wanted to create a sense of warmth with the picture, making absolutely certain that Home Alone felt timeless. The wardrobe, the look of the picture, it had to have some elegance and give it some style. And Julio Macat came through brilliantly.
It was a really exciting time for me because I was just starting out. I had done a very small feature before. I think that was the reason Chris interviewed me for the job. He saw a lot of stunts on my reel, which I think he liked.
I had been working as a stuntman, but this was my first big break to double a lead and on a film and be on the film for 3 months. It was a big break for me, because then after Home Alone I got called a lot to do a lot of physical stunts as car hits and falls and everything, because of the nature of the first Home Alone. So it got me a lot of work after that.
The set atmosphere on Home Alone was like none other ever. I mean, it was like going to a frat party every day. Everybody was so young. There's always music playing, and Chris was hilarious, and Mark Radcliffe was the AD, and he's now Chris's executive producer on all these huge pictures now, and we just had a blast.
It was actually the first time I cast out of Chicago, so I got to go to Chicago, and it was sort of off in Chicago on my own, and it was probably a bit of a confidence builder. The Kevin character, I thought it really had to be cast well. It had to be somebody that you believe could take care of himself. You were afraid for him.
This is the furnace. It's the scariest thing in the basement. You should see what it does to me.
With the wrong kid, it could have been an obnoxious child. So you needed somebody that was just totally endearing.
Kevin, I'm on the phone.
No, we're not bringing the dog. Put it in the kennel for the... Hey, get off. Kevin, out of the room.
Hang up the phone and make me, why don't you?
Well, Macaulay's involvement came from John Hughes. He had been in Uncle Buck. And John said to us, look, you may not want to cast Mac, but take a look at him, meet him, and let's, see what you think.
I wanted to find this perfect kid to be in Home Alone, and I didn't want to resort to using Macaulay, who was in Uncle Buck. I thought, I want to find someone on my own.
John Hughes suggested me for the part. And, Chris wanted, he met with me early on, but he also wanted to meet with other people. He just didn't want to just take the first thing that was in front of him.
Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me.
After meeting 400 other kids, I realized that there was no one as special or as unique or as talented as Macaulay. The camera loved him. He just was infinitely relatable to people all over the world. Little did I realize until I started shooting the film that not only did he have it for that film, but he truly was a certified movie star.
Macaulay's become a great actor, I think. His recent work is really tremendous. As a 9-year-old boy, how good an actor can you be? So he had a beautiful face, he had a great sense of comedy, and he had a great teacher in Chris also.
Action!
The dork was whining about a suitcase. What am I supposed to do? Shake his hand and say, congratulations, you're dork? I'm not an idiot. Oh, really?
Cut. Okay.
I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm like
Now, guys, here's what you can do. Megan, Hillary, you guys can move a little faster here, okay? So you can say you're completely helpless. Everybody has to do everything for you as you're almost here, okay? So let's try it one more time, guys. And action.
I've never done this once in my whole life. That's what Megan said. What did I say?
You told Kev you're tough.
The dork was whining about a suitcase. What am I supposed to do? Shake his hand and say, congratulations, you're an idiot? I'm not an idiot. Oh, really? You're so helpless. Everyone has to do everything for you.
Chris was very, very good with me. He knew how to get me to do the things that he wanted me to do, to tell the story that he wanted to tell. And that's what it was all about, is just making sure that Chris was happy. You always want to make a director happy, and, especially when you're a kid, even more so. I'm not sure if there's anyone else in the business who can really get performances out of children the way he can.
He always knew his lines. He was always a professional, always prepared. At the same time, he was a 9-year-old kid. So at any given moment, he would have to become a kid because you don't have that sense of responsibility that you have as an adult. But as a kid, you get tired sometimes. You tend to get distracted. You tend to laugh. You tend to have fun. And that was all part of what made his performance so special.
What happened to my room?
Heather, Tracy, and Sandra took it.
This house is so full of people. It makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Everybody was just completely...
Macaulay was fun to work with. I mean, he always joked around. He used to play around with the crew all the time. I think he even liked to do their jobs if he could.
Me and Chris decided that we would use a dolly shot.
Yeah, what should I do here?
Do a dolly shot.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about after this?
I'm not sure.
What about a close-up?
Good idea.
Okay. Should I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone got the really genius idea of putting a camera in a 9-year-old's hands. But it's interesting to see my point of view that I don't even remember. I don't remember any of this stuff. They just kind of put a camera in my hands and I just shot away.
Hey, can I get you on the other side? There's more light. I can't really see you.
How do you know all this stuff?
Okay, right here. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Mac. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Take my glasses off for this.
I don't want to give you any ideas, but are we going tighter?
Are we going tighter? Yes.
Is it true that you are in the hit movie Home Alone?
Yes, it is true, Macaulay. And there's one thing that I have to say. They told me that in about 15 years that they will still be showing this movie because the style of it is going to still be in fashion.
Isn't it true that you're the brother of the famous Macaulay Culkin? Yes, it is true. Do you think Home Alone will be a hit movie?
Yes, absolutely. Because you're in it.
Thank you. Moving on.
We just had a great cast, everywhere. Anyone from Macaulay Culkin and Joe Pesci and Dan. They were just a great bunch of people to work with.
We were really lucky. Joe Pesci read it and saw that he could do something with it, and he came on board, and when he came on board, everyone else kind of followed.
Joe Pesci was someone I was a gigantic fan of from Raging Bull and Goodfellas, and I thought, God, it would be great if Joe Pesci would agree to do something like this. He warmed to the script. We got along when we first met, and he decided to do the film, which was shocking to me. I didn't expect him to do it.
He thought that a lot of what we were asking him to do was a stretch for him, which it was. He handled it so well because a lot of it was, kind of in a different playing field than what he was used to. I think his hardest thing was not to cuss on camera.